Hey, good afternoon. What do you do in a situation where you've been named in a lawsuit, or worse, your company's been named in a lawsuit, and you realize that your company charter has been forfeit by the Texas Comptroller's office? Don't hit the panic mode because it can be fixed. Couple of reminders. Once a year, by May 15th, generally, every corporate entity in the state of Texas has to file a minimum of 2 reports with the Texas Comptroller's office, a public information report and a franchise tax report. If one or both of those reports are not filed timely, the Comptroller will put you on an automatic suspension docket, and you will get a notice of forfeiture for failure to report sometime 30 to 60 days after those reports are not filed. Failing to report is a very common thing. Most folks, they sign up online or they buy a product through LegalZoom or some other third-party vendor, and they don't get reminders that their annual reporting is due on the beginning of May. And it puts them in this predicament where their company charter is going to be forfeit. And when your company charter is forfeit, you don't have the corporate shield to protect you and your personal assets from any alleged liabilities. Now, one good thing about Texas is we are open for business, and it's fairly easy to rehabilitate a forfeited corporation, provided there's not a whole bunch of back taxes owed. And if it's just the fact that past reports have to be created and filed and some fines paid, you can do this relatively quickly, including after that company's been named in a lawsuit, which would then return the shareholders to their position that they are behind the corporate shield, which is where you want to be in a litigation matter. So don't feel doomed if you get a forfeiture notice, or if you do finally recall that your annual reports are due and you come to realize by logging on the Comptroller website that, oh my gosh, my company's forfeit, what do I do? There's a fairly easy procedure. I'm happy to discuss that with you at any time, but just be advised that you can get behind the corporate veil, you can revive the corporate entity, and you can put your personal assets behind the shield again. Again, it's fairly simple, provided there's not a whole bunch of back taxes due. So remember, May 15th is coming up. It's about to be U.S. tax time, but the Comptroller's tax time, the Texas Comptroller's tax time, is May 15th. So make sure you have it on your calendar to get those reports done. And if you have any questions, feel free to call me.